Hi, this is Movie Minute Recap, and we are starting. The movie based on the real story. It starts with an English boxer named Billy Moore, who's about to step into the ring in Thailand. Turns out he's moved all the way to Thailand to try and make a living as a fighter. Right before the fight, though, he takes some drugs, showing he's on pretty heavy addict. Once the fight starts, Billy's struggling to catch his breath because of the drugs, and despite his hardcore training, he gets taken down with a brutal hit and loses the match. But Billy's not done. He gets up and demands they restart the fight, even punching the referee out of frustration. Later that night, he ends up in a bar where he sells some drugs. The next morning, cops show up at Billy's place. He scrambles to hide his stash in the bubble, but they still arrest him and drag him off to the station. The next day, Billy and some other prisoners are thrown into the notorious Kong Prem prison in Bangkok. As soon as they arrive, they're strip searched and patted down. Billy gets dragged into a mugshot area where a guard secretly slips him some heroin. Afterward, he's taken to a cramped holding cell where everyone's yelling and causing a ruckus. An officer shows up and reads the inmates the rules. No gambling, no smoking, no tattoos. Later, Billy tries to get some water when another prisoner shoves him. Furious, Billy's about to fight back, but guards pull him away and throw him into wet and tight solitary. The next day, Billy's moved to another cell with a bunch of heavily tattooed inmates. The leader, Kang, starts barking at him in Thai, but Billy doesn't understand a word. They start to ask him how he got in prison and if he's gay. Kang then makes Billy do push-ups while the other prisoners mock him, but Billy's smart enough not to fight back because he's outnumbered. That night, they offer him a cigarette when the guards aren't looking. But when he goes to the toilet, Kang and his gang ambush him, holding him at knife point and forcing him to watch them beat up and rape another inmate. This really messes with Billy's head, and terrified for his life, he can't sleep that night. The next morning, he's devastated when he finds out that the poor guy they beat up has taken his own life. Shaken, Billy heads to the infirmary to ask for some pain meds, but the officer refuses unless Billy pays up. This infuriates Billy, and in his rage, he attacks the officer, biting him on the neck before other guards show up and beat Billy to a pulp. They throw him into a cell with a ladyboy inmate named Fame, who helps him patch up his wounds. Later, when Billy's leg is cuffed to prevent any more fights, he sneaks into the communal bath with the other inmates. Kang's crew lights up a cigarette in a corner and offers Billy a puff from their secret stash. After that, Billy expresses his thanks to Fame for helping him, asking for more cigarettes. She asks if his family sends him money, and he tells her he doesn't have anyone back home. He borrows some cigarettes and promises to pay her back next week. That night, Billy sees Kong's crew gambling for smokes, and he trades his own cigarettes for drugs because he's desperate for a fix. At midnight, officers wake everyone up to search for drugs. A police dog smells something on Billy's clothes, and an officer finds a stash. Billy panics and tries to claim the clothes aren't his, showing they don't even fit him. Somehow, the officer buys it, and another prisoner gets punished instead. Now, Kong's crew is pissed. Desperate, Billy approaches a guard, hoping to score some more drugs. The officer agrees and sneaks him into an empty cell, giving him a hair-laced cigarette and even standing guard, while Billy takes a hit. The next day, Billy's back in his cell, searching for the same officer to get another fix. This time, the guard refuses unless Billy does him a favor. Beat up two chefs because they're bad for his business. Without hesitation, Billy agrees, takes a hit for courage, and heads to the kitchen. He almost kills the chefs in a blind rage. Afterward, the officer offers Billy more drugs as a reward, but Billy, realizing he's gone too far, turns them down. Full of guilt and despair, he tries to end his life, but another inmate finds him in time and saves him. In the next day, got himself together, he heads to a training area, hoping to join Muay Thai boxing team. But the coach rejects him, probably because of Billy's bad reputation. Billy visits Fame to apologize for not paying her back. He asks for another pack of cigarettes to bribe the coach and get a spot in the team. Fame hesitates, but finally gives in. With this, Billy joins the team, but he's out of shape and gets easily beaten up in his first practice match. Humiliated, he commits to training day and night to regain his skills. One day, Billy wins some cigarettes while gambling and returns what he owes Fame. They start talking, and Billy reveals he has a father and brothers. When he asks why she's in prison, Fame admits she killed her father because he used to abuse her. Their conversation takes a more personal turn and turns into romance between them. Eventually, Billy is scheduled to fight an opponent of equal strength. The fight is brutal, but Billy finally wins with a knockout in the fourth round. This victory catches the attention of the prison warden, Preacher, who offers him a chance to compete in a national tournament. He bonds with the team and decide to make a sacred Thai tattoo sakyant. that gives power and protect the fighters. For the first time in a while, Billy feels hope and gratitude. He trains hard, but a few days before the competition, he catches fame with another prisoner. Heartbroken, he relapses and vents his anger on his boxing partner. The officers isolate him in a bigger cell, and after a while, they send him back to his team. His boxing partner confronts him, but Billy apologizes sincerely. The team forgives him, and he's back to training. One day, Kung and his gang beat Billy up, demanding money to keep quiet about his drug use. They threaten to infect him with AIDS if he loses the upcoming fight. Even worse, a doctor tells Billy he's got a hernia from the drugs and warns him about the risk of internal bleeding. Despite the warning, Billy decides to fight. On the day of the match, Billy puts everything on the line. The fight is intense, and his opponent's kick lands hard on his already injured abdomen. Billy fights through the pain in his last power, and with one final blow, he wins the match, knocking opponent out cold. But right as he's celebrating, he collapses in the ring, vomiting blood. Billy wakes up in the hospital and considers running away, manages to walk away on the decent distance. He suddenly stops and changes his mind, returns back. After 3 years in the Thai prison, he's transferred to a UK prison and is eventually granted amnesty by the King of Thailand. And that's where his journey ends. Thank you for watching till the end. Please like and subscribe.